Hey guys, Ennis, Whiteacre Properties. Welcome back to another episode, and today I'm bringing you guys Jamaica Plain, 94 St. Rose, to show you guys the final reveal. This project is finally done. It hit the market. We're pending on both condos. Before we go into everything we're going to cover today, guys, check out older videos. I had done at least 2 videos when we purchased it and through the rehab where I go through the process there. So today we're going to cover things like how we found the property, how we financed it, how much we spent on renovations, how much did we get on the back end once we listed on the MLS, how much we're paying on holding costs, commissions, all that stuff, and then finally how much we're making in profit or losing, right? Guys, if you find this valuable, please share, like, subscribe. I'm trying to get this content out to a lot more people and I appreciate your help. So comment below, share, like, subscribe. So how did we find this property? This was actually a lead that came to us from an agent, someone that we have a relationship with. They were looking to sell this property for the homeowner who was elderly and lived in Florida. They had a fire on the top floor, it was vacant, and they just didn't want to really deal with a lot of showings, put it on the MLS. They were worried about people coming here, just maybe tripping and falling. So they were worried about that type of stuff. So they were looking for a cash offer as is, no contingency, and pretty much close in 30 days. And we were able to offer that. One thing I want to mention to you guys is that the moment we got the lead, we analyzed it within minutes, right? So we pulled comparable sales. One of us drove to the property and looked at the exterior, and we just returned an offer, I think within 24 hours. So very fast. So call to action, especially in this market, is extremely important. So we got the offer accepted at $750,000, provided some great solutions to the homeowner that was, again, out of state and elderly. And the agent actually is super happy because he got a dual commission up front and he got the listings now on the back end. He got this $1 million condos to list. So win-win all around. We closed on the purchase of the property back in February 26, 2021. But I want to give you guys really quick some background and the thought process of why we offered $750,000 to the seller. If you have watched some of my videos, I do go over the 70% rule. If you don't know what that is, please go check it out. I've done a bunch of videos covering that strategy. But basically, we thought we're gonna sell these 2 condos for $1.8 million. And we thought the repair on the property is gonna be $400,000. So the 70% rule is ARV times 70% minus repairs, 1.8 million times 70% minus 400,000. That gives us roughly $860,000 as our maximum offer. However, seller was only looking for $750 and we offered $750, right? We could have gone up to $860 and the number would still make sense based on the 70% rule. So that was the logic behind it. We acted fast, numbers made sense. There was no reason to negotiate the price. That didn't make sense going back and forth because we are buying already with a discount. So wanted to go over that 70% rule just a little bit more with you guys, because one thing I've done in the past that I got burned is buying on emotions. Having a formula in place and following that formula for every lead that comes to your desk, it's gonna save you time and it's gonna save you money, right? I have purchased on emotions in the past and I lost money. So that's why we follow the 70% rule every single time. Look, don't get me wrong, there are some deals that we do go out of the formula because we might like the deal for one reason or the other, or we see the upside, but 90% of the cases we follow the 70% rule, and we did that here. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but our maximum offer was $860. That doesn't mean that that's our offer price, right? That's the highest we could go. We offered $750 because that was the asking price, and we didn't feel like negotiating. It was a good deal, so why even waste time negotiating? Plus, if you start negotiating, maybe somebody else comes in that time period and makes an offer better than yours, right? So we didn't want to risk that. It was a good deal. We just wanted to lock it up, get it signed, executed, and move on. So now that we got the deal signed, obviously we have 30 to 45 days to close, right? What we do next is we have to find the money. How are we going to purchase this property? We went with a hard money lender, someone we have a relationship with, and someone that makes the purchase process extremely easy for us. However, we got to pay a little bit. So we got 90% of the purchase price from him, right? So if we are purchasing for $750,000, roughly we got about $675,000 from this gentleman. 10% is coming from us. Guys, think about that for a second. If you actually are buying a two-family, like this one in Jamaica Plain, 10% means $75,000. So you gotta have that somewhere. Either you're gonna borrow it from friends and family, maybe you save that money from whatever you are doing, but that's the money that you gotta bring to closing. Plus the points, right? I just mentioned that we're paying 2 points on this property. That's $20,000 because the total money we are borrowing is about $1 million. You need $75,000 plus $20,000 plus the closing fees. So all in for us was about $100,000. So I'm sharing that because I want to make sure that if you guys do something similar, you got to have that cash on the side. Somehow you got to find it. The other thing that the hard money lender does is they provide 100% of the construction funds. So in this case, we borrowed $300,000. We thought we were going to spend $400,000. But we wanted to obviously contribute some funds of our own to the construction, so we borrowed $300,000. Now, if you're just starting out, maybe you're thinking that they're going to give you that $300,000 right up front, right? You close on the deal, you are at the attorney's office, and then you get this check for $300,000 to do the job. It doesn't work that way. The way they distribute these funds is actually in draws, meaning you start the job, you go maybe through demolition and rough installations, right, for electric, HVAC, plumbing, all that stuff. Then they distribute the funds when the job is done. That's how that works. Typically, we'll get 4 or 5 draws for the whole job. But one thing to keep in mind, though, is that when you start hiring contractors, if you are managing the job yourself, these contractors are looking for 1/3 of their invoice upfront, most of the people. And 1/3 can be thousands of dollars. The lender is not going to pay you that. So if you want the contractor to start, you got to upfront that money, get them started, and once you are going through rough inspections, then call the lender, come, bring them for inspection, have them release the funds to you. So at the end of the day, the lender is funding it, right? But you got to upfront the money. Think about that. You need that money to pay the contractor. Where are those money coming from? So let's talk about the renovations a little bit. This is a two-family property, right, that we converted to condos. The finished square footage is about 3,300 square feet between the two units. Unit 1 has 1,500 square feet. Unit 2, which is the second and third floor, that is bigger at 1,800 square feet. But the total finished space is about 3,300 square feet. And we spent $500,000 renovating this house, or just shy of that. This sounds like a big number, right? And honestly, it is. $500,000, it's a lot of money to spend on a two-family. But there is a lot of things that we did here. First of all, was a full gut rehab, right? So we demolished everything and just kept the exterior wall. And pretty much everything is brand new. Exterior, siding, roofing, windows, all the mechanicals, right? Everything that's inside, the finishes, that's all brand new. So that's, on the material part, is a ton of money. And then you got the labor, right? All the subcontractors. And I've done a video to share with you guys the team that we have to manage a project like this. So go check it out. We'll put it up there. But we needed architect up front. We needed a civil engineer up front for the structural plans. We needed a surveyor, right? We need a designer. I mean, all this finishes. This is not me. You guys might like this and think, oh wow, Anis is doing excellent. It's not me. I have a team behind me that can help with all this because it's a lot of work. And then someone that has to be on site on a daily basis. Charlie, our project manager, managed this one and he did an incredible job. But you need someone, either you got to be on site or you need a project manager to be on site every day. Otherwise, things won't get done. And you know, this project might take way too long. So having a team, super important. Understanding all the steps from the moment you draw the plans to getting a permit, to starting work. All of that takes time and money, right? So that's why it costs so much. But I wanted to share the numbers so you guys don't go into a project thinking you're gonna spend $100 per square feet, right? And maybe you do. Good for you. I mean, I would congratulate you on that. But this one, we need at $150 per square feet. One more thing I wanted to mention to you guys about the final design and all the finishes and how we think about it, right? How we go about selecting everything. Typically, it starts with looking at comparable sales in the neighborhood. Ideally, we look at other condos on the same street, right? So we'll pull St. Rose and see if anything sold on this street. And we're looking at their level of finishes. Things like, do they have quartz countertops or granite? Do they have really nice high-end appliances, right? Or kitchen cabinets? What type of flooring they have? What type of siding and windows? So we look at everything that's pretty much sold in the recent 6 months, let's say, and we make our decisions based on that. So we are strategic about how much money we spend looking at what's sold in the neighborhood, because we don't want to spend more that's necessary. At the same time, we want to design with keeping the buyer in mind, right? What is the buyer expecting from this finished product? At the end of the day, we are a for-profit business, so you got to be very careful not to spend on things that maybe the buyer is not going to value. So just wanted to share that with you guys. That's an exercise that we go through all the time. You can design something based on what you like. I mean, that can be one factor, but you need more things to calculate, because you are not living in this property, right? You are selling it. You got to keep the buyer in mind and think if that's something they will like and they will pay more for. Next thing we're going to talk about is holding costs. I want you guys to be aware of all this cost, because it can be a lot of money. So things like property taxes, utilities, right? Mortgage payments, insurance. Those 4 things are something you got to pay on a monthly basis. It's important to know what they might be, right? So you need to estimate what those payments are, because you're going to have the money to pay for it every month. Property taxes on this house was about $10,000. Utilities, somewhere in the range of $3,000. Insurance, about $5,000. And then mortgage payments for a total amount of $125,000. That's a lot of money. So we are somewhere in the range of 150 grand for holding costs. That's something that you got to have out of pocket. So it's super important to make sure you have the money put aside to carry the project all the way to the time of sale. So before I share with you guys how much we sold these 2 condos for, I wanted to mention a couple more costs, which is the closing cost, because now that we're going to sell it, we got a stamp to pay. It's called Massachusetts stamp tax. We pay the state of Massachusetts a fee based on the sale price, and we got attorney fees, we got some recording fees. So it's going to be about $20,000 just right there. And then the major other cost is commissions. We are paying 4.25% in commission fees. Our agent who found us the deal, he gave us a break. It's typically somewhere around 5 or 6%. So he's giving us a break on the commission, and we're paying him 4.25%. However, on the exit number that we're going to share, that's $100,000 in commissions, right? So all this cost, I want you guys to be aware of it. So let's talk about how much we got for these 2 condos, right? 4 bedrooms upstairs, 2.5 baths, 3 bedrooms downstairs, 2 full bathrooms in Jamaica Plain. Total sale price is $2,225,000. So way better than the 1.8 that we're hoping for when we started the project over a year and a half ago, almost. To be exact, it's 15 months. Pleasantly surprised. The market took off in this area, during the time that we owned it. So we did really well. But also the strategy that we followed on the listing side is also important. I mentioned this before, but we don't really overprice these condos or these projects. We always look at comparable sales, and we list just under. After looking at comparable sales, then maybe we'll get somewhere between 1.9 and 2 million, and we listed just under, and we ended up getting 2.225, right? It's just crazy, but you want to take really nice pictures, right? So professional photography, staging, price it right, and then do some really nice open houses. And that's what we did here. We got, I think, 6 offers for the top floor, 3 offers for the first floor, and we got exactly $125,000 over for each unit. I'm not sure how we ended up with that, but it was exactly the same number on both. So to recap, purchase price $750,000, financing is about $150,000, right, all in. Renovation budget, our total cost close to $500,000. We got commission at $100,000, closing cost and some holding cost at $50,000. When you guys add all those numbers, we are at $1,550,000 for all-in cost. Our exit number for the 2 condos in total is $2,225,000, which leaves us with a potential profit, because we haven't closed yet. Maybe by the time you guys watch this, we're done with $675,000. For 2 condos in Boston, that's a really, really good profit. Again, the market did really well, so it's not that we are smart or anything. We just try to plan right, but the market took off and the appreciation definitely helped. And that's an unusual number, because typically we don't gain this much on a project like this one. So a home run deal by any means. It took a long time, right? 15 months total, from February 2021 to May 2022, way longer than we hoped for. I think we wanted to wrap this up in 10 months and we took 15 months. So huge difference there. But I'm excited and happy with the final results, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So guys, that's all I got for today. Wanted to share the numbers with you guys, the profit numbers. I'm extremely happy about that, but I'm also happy about the finished product. We put so much effort as a team. Everyone that was involved here, I'm extremely appreciative. I can't do this alone, so thank you to everyone. Was a win-win all around, you know, from the seller getting a great deal, to the agent making 3 commissions, to 2 buyers getting these beautiful homes, right? These 2 condos, that, you know, this Victorian style project that we wrapped up. Guys, I want to hear from you. I know you got questions. I try to cover as much as possible. So go comment below. I really want to know what questions you guys have. If you will do something like this, or if you have done it before, or anything that I didn't talk about. The goal for the channel is to share with you guys what we go through in Boston, what the thought process is, how we manage this project, the profit numbers, and most importantly, the lessons learned. So hopefully I'm inspiring you. Hopefully you guys are learning a little bit. Share, like, subscribe, comment below. And if you haven't watched the first video with the final reveal, the walkthrough, check it out up here. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Catch you on the next one.